All right, welcome to another exciting edition of Politalk with Olatunja. We're on Tsolidtv, like you all know. Wow, the tension is gathering in the country. May 29 is just around the corner, a few days away, and there is a whole lot of hope from people, and at the same time, there has been a whole lot of comparison from people about the incumbents and those who are going out, and those who are coming in. And the same is the story of Oyo State. We have an incumbent going out and we have a new governor coming in. And today on the show, we are going to analyze the incumbent and at the same time, the new governor that is coming into to become the governor of Oyo State come 2019. Apparently, I know all things are getting set and ready for him to become governor in a matter of few days. Today I have Mr. Rotimi Johnson, who is someone I really revere, and is a special advisor on media to Senator-elect Kola Balogun, one person who pulled a major string in the last general election, and as well he's also a member of the Seyi Makinde campaign group, and nobody else than Mr. Rotimi Johnson. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, and how was your day, sir?
That's been wonderful.
All right, momentum is gathering in Oyo State. 8 years down the line, we had a governor, and for the next 4 years, we would be having another governor. So, from your aspect, 8 years of governance, how will you rate or describe Governor Gov Ajimobi tenure in office in terms of security, economy, education, and infrastructure?
Thank you. Let me start from infrastructure because that has been the emphasis of Ajimobi and his aides. So, in terms of infrastructure, we can't take it away from him that Ajimobi has done some things, particularly in Ibadan.
Okay.
Because in Iseyin, for instance, he has started a road from Iseyin to Iseyin. So
He rode from Iseyin to Iseyin.
That's how Engineer Seyi
Yeah, we
Makinde
see it.
described it.
All right.
So he has started road from Iseyin to Iseyin. What is the economic importance? But generally in Ibadan city, particularly in the last few months, there has been a lot of patching of roads, apart from the few ones that were dualized in his first term. So he has done a little well there. But in terms of the people, which is the important one, Ajimobi is leaving a lot of people in Oyo State. He's leaving them poorer than they were before he got there. Because you don't lead projects. That's what I keep telling people. You don't lead projects, you lead people. So as much as possible, when you're doing the projects, you must have the people at the back of your mind that these projects are for the people. So you do what they need, not what you want.
All right, let me cut you in on that a little bit. Before the advent of Governor Ajimobi, it was said that the domestic debt in Oyo State was around $4.8 billion naira, sorry, as domestic debt, which has increased at 2,000% within 5 years from 2011 up to date. And at the same time, when we talk about the external debt rate, but the difference between the external debt rate is that there's just 9%. It has moved from 9%, that is from $78 million to $71 million. Do you think this did not make have effect on the lives of average indigenous of Oyo State?
Well, I don't think so. It's not the debt profile that affects the people, but what the resources were expended on. You and I, knowing the debt profile doesn't affect us directly, but the currency in circulation. If the workers are being paid, it does not really matter if the money was sourced through loan. It will keep the economy of the state buoyant. The workers can go to the market to buy from the sellers. The sellers are happy, they go home with money. It's a chain event. But when contractors, the major contractors in the state are from outside the state and even outside the country, there is capital flight. So the money is not circulating with them. Yes, the debt profile has increased because the present debt is over 200 billion naira
Yeah.
that is being owed, and the pensioners are being owed about 60 billion naira. It's alarming. It's alarming. So, and you are still commissioning projects at the expense of the welfare of the people. That's what we are saying, that look, you are the governor over the people. The state is just a geographical entity. You are supposed to lead the people to a destination of mutual benefit. But when the people are looking at you that you are getting better and they are getting worse, then it becomes something unpleasant.
Now, let me pick you up from that angle. Understanding the lacuna where the present incumbent governor has erred and has failed, not understanding the fact that the people should be the primary project, not just infrastructures. This want me to go back to Ekiti State in person of Governor Fayose, where he built what we call stomach infrastructure as against the normal infrastructure people would expect in the society. Would you say, would you feel when the present person in person of Engr Seyi Makinde is coming in, should the people believe or have more hope for a stomach infrastructure government, or apparently welfareism structure of roads for the people?
Thank you. The stomach infrastructure is a bit to the extreme.
Okay.
A good leader must have a balance. We must have a balance. A balance in the sense that while their stomach has been taken care of, because a hungry man is an angry man.
Yes.
So to reduce the tension, to reduce the rate of crime, to take care of the people, they must have food at their table. So that's where salaries and pensions and allowances are very important. But at the same time, as a good leader, you must also look at infrastructures that will positively impact on the economy and the welfare of the people. For instance, if the roads in the city and interlinked roads are good, the tension on the road users will reduce. What you spend on maintaining your cars will reduce. The transport fare within the city will be moderate. But when the roads are bad, the commuters will want to hike up the prices. The road users are grumbling. You spend more hours on the road. So you repair such roads, the people will be glad that it is in our interest. But if you are widening a road that is okay, just because of the contract will give you something in return, then it's not in the interest of the people. And the people will know the difference. What you are doing because you want to make more money, and what you are doing because it will better their lives. That's where the difference is. And for Engr Seyi Makinde, I know he has a way of balancing this. He has the welfare of the people at the back of his mind, and as an engineer, he knows when quality things are being done. You know, for an engineer, particularly in the oil sector, you appreciate quality.
Yeah.
You don't compromise standard, whether for safety or for the quality of the contract being done. You don't compromise the standard. So that's where the balance will come in. It's not just about stomach infrastructure, although the word stomach infrastructure is derogatory, but the truth is, if you have food, your demand is half taken care of, because survival comes before enjoyment. If you are surviving, you are less harmful to the society, because if you have eaten, the desperation to commit crime
Will be very, very minimal.
That's it.
All right, now talking about desperation to commit crime, security and peace in Oyo State so far so good from 2011 up to date. How would you rate the Senator Abiola Ajimobi led government of APC during that period of time?
Thank you. I will rate him fairly well, as in averagely, because there is no total security anywhere. But majorly, he came in, he tackled successfully the cases of violence at our motor park, a situation where a lot of innocent citizens have been caught in between bullets. So, for that, I'll give him a pass.
All right, let me take
When you are talking about neighborhood security,
okay?
there's nothing much done about neighborhood security, because we have a lot of hoodlums, we have a lot of banditry in some areas in the states, and they are striving very well unchecked. So, but the issue of highway security and motor park security, he has done well.
All right, so we see have our able person in person of Mr. Rotimi Johnson in the house. Let's just go on this short break, and when we are back, we'll still go back to the security matters and see how far Oyo State is faring well in the security matters and what Engr Seyi Makinde has for the entirety of Oyo State indigents as soon as he becomes the governor May 29, 2019. It's still Politalk with Ola on Tsolidtv. Don't go nowhere. All right, welcome back from that short break, and we see Mr. Rotimi Johnson on the hot seat. And as a matter of fact, I think it's going to get hotter from now on because we're going to security matters. And as you all know, security is the #1 priority of any government, and we want to know what the PDP-led government would offer us for the next 4 years as far as security is concerned in Oyo State. All right, to you, Mr. Rotimi Johnson. Few days ago, there was one of the newspaper outlets published a story about Engr Seyi Makinde whining and dining one of the NURTW factional leader in Oyo State. And to some people, they've seen this as bringing back what was lost in Oyo State, the peace that, bringing back the Oyo State that used to be violent, because they felt if you as a governor or an incoming governor is whining and dying with an NURTW factional leader, then that shows a whole lot of insecurity might be in place. You being a member of Seyi Makinde's media aid, what would you say about this?
Thank you. You dining with someone does not give such a person license for violence. As a matter of fact, person you want to tame and you want to prevent from being violent, there's wisdom in bringing them closer. Engr Seyi Makinde will not condone any violent act, not even in words. I've known him for a while, and I know that you hardly hear any sort of violent words from him, not even to his subordinates. So he's not the kind of person, he's not arrogant, he's not a careless talker, so he will not tolerate violence from anybody. You can take that from me, irrespective of how close that person is to him. People are only being agitated, and I think the wise thing to do is to bring these people closer. You'll be able to talk to them as brothers or as friends. You'll be able to tame them and probably give them a better vision of their own future, other than going through the path of violence. Because if you look at it, all these fights at the motor park, what's it all about? Money. Because they see it as access to wealth. That's why they are fighting. That's the reason for the violence. But when you bring them closer, you'll be able to talk some sense into their heads that violence is not the way to go. Because the truth is, many of these people, they don't have any other means of ascending to power, of access to wealth, other than violence.
Yes, yeah.
But when you are able to school them, you are able to talk to them, you'll be able to reprogram the violence they are used to. And there's nothing wrong in dining with anybody. Engr Seyi Makinde is, Omituntun. He doesn't quarrel with anyone. He has visited Obasanjo, he has gone to program with people in the opposition party, he has gone to visit Ajimobi. That's the kind of person he is. He believes in interacting with everyone, and by so doing, you know what their challenges are, and you have a better way of solving. You don't stay away from people as a leader. Bringing everyone together. I've learned some things from him too. Before, my kind of politics is, I can never relate with this kind of person. But with time, I started seeing that, look, in politics, relate with everyone.
Okay.
You will learn something from relating with them. If only to know how dangerous or how not to even relate with such people. You'll have invariably learned something. So there's nothing bad in it. Relating or dining with them doesn't give them license or liberty for violence. No.
All right, let's just go back to Operation Burst. Operation Burst came into existence after Ajimobi became the governor of Oyo State, and there's this signing within people that Operation Burst might cease to exist if Engr Seyi Makinde comes in as the governor May 29th. or not, what should we expect in the area of Operation Burst? And at the same time, what security measures is the incoming governor, putting in place? Because if you look at the crime rate in Oyo State, for example, when it comes to robbery, bank robbery case, and some sort of insecurity in the state, it has reduced to its lowest ebb. And this is one thing every pundit wants to give to in the person of Governor Ajimobi. How are we expecting the incoming governor to step up on this one?
Thank you. The issue of Operation Burst, the word Operation Burst is just the name of the organization, the task force for security, for rapid response. So the name might change. I don't know what His Excellency will have in mind, but the operation
Will not change.
More organized, because according to his blueprint, he wants a security apparatus that is well equipped with communication gadgets, with arms and ammunition, in such a way that there will be more emphasis on prevention of crime
Than fighting of a crime.
He has said that a couple of times, that look, we still have a lot to do in the area of security. So the issue of whether it is Operation Burst or Operation Arrest or Operation whatever is not the important thing. The important thing is the level of security prevention is going to be raised higher than what we have presently. You can be rest assured about that. Whether it will now be a combination of all these security apparatus or just the police, I don't know yet. But as it unfolds, you will bear witness with me that there will be a better operational environment for all these security agents to come together.
Okay, I think that's a good one. But then let's move or tilt a bit towards workers in Oyo State. After the ascension of the bill to pay 30,000 naira minimum wage, the incoming governor at one time or the other said the outgoing state governor is trying to put him in a stringent position so he couldn't or he won't be able to fulfill his campaign promises. What's your view on this? So apparently, don't you think it is always in the Nigeria political system whereby an incumbent will try and make things difficult for the incoming in such a way that policies and different kind of movements or moves will be made so that the incoming might not be able to succeed in his or her 4-year tenure?
Thank you. At this stage, the outgoing governor is expected to be more of a statesman than a politician. The fact that that is how it is done does not make it right. When Akala was leaving, Governor Akala was leaving, you still have the statements online. Governor Ajimobi raised alarm about last-minute withdrawal, about employment and contracts that were given out. So if Governor Ajimobi is repeating
The same
what
thing.
he condemned then, it doesn't make him a good leader. It doesn't make him a statesman. A statesman will factor the interests of the people of the state, irrespective of the political party that is taking over from him. How do we go forward? How do we progress from this point? So, all he has done, when we ascend power in the next 7 days, we'll see a truer picture of what he has done. If he has done all these contracts within the appropriation for 2019,
Can't have a problem with that.
no problem. But whatever he has done outside the budget, outside the appropriation, then it becomes criminal. Whether misappropriation or mismanagement of funds.
So when it becomes criminal, do we see you taking it to the EFCC or apparently setting up a tribunal or something?
I don't know how His Excellency will approach it, but there are cases already with the EFCC. There are petitions against the incumbent
governor
with the EFCC. So it's between that financial crime organization and whoever. He is not going to be distracted or suing or victimizing. He's not vindictive. So he's going to face his job. But the important thing is that we should all learn to put the interest of our people. We must put it first at all times. That's what has not been, and it should be. As soon as we get into office, it's going to be a great task because the expectation of the people from us is so high. I just joked a few minutes ago that look, is alarmingly high, the expectation.
And would you say this is because of the campaign promises the governor made prior to election?
There is no, it's not just because of the campaign promises. It's because of the personality of Engineer Seyi Makinde. What they, as their perception of him, is a man that promises and keeps to his promises. So over the years, he has been consistent in his charity work. He has been consistent in taking care of some things, you know, flood disaster, rapid response to some, you know, emergency cases. So they have their hope in him as a person now becoming the governor is very high.
Okay.
Also, they also believe that look, this man is not hungry. He's not going there to amass wealth to himself. So that's why the expectation is so high. He has not promised what no man has promised before. But it is the person that is making the promise now that is heightening the expectation of our people.
Okay, so people were expecting more because of the person of Engineer Seyi Makinde. There is a place which seem to forget in our political system, and that is the legislative arm and the executive arm. What measure is the governor putting in place to start at Pali or stay at Pali with the legislative arm? I'm talking of the Oyo State House of Assembly, because most times if the legislative arm and the executive arm are not in tandem, there is always going to be a space of ascension of bills and the likes, which might deter progress in the state.
Thank you. Well, to the best of my knowledge, there is a very good rapport between the elected PDP House of Assembly members and His Excellency Engineer Seyi Makinde.
Okay, are you saying, in essence, the PDP, Seyi Makinde-led PDP might throw away the APC members and the ADC? Or apparently, it is a call to work for everybody. So are you willing to work with just PDP members, or you're willing to work with every other political party in the system?
The Engineer Seyi Makinde that I know will work with anyone. I said PDP because PDP is in majority.
Yeah.
Unlike the past two, I said the 8, 6, 7, and 8
Assembly.
they had to, you know, negotiate
Yes.
with the minority, the highest minority group in the house. But this time around, there is no need to negotiate.
Because they have a majority, outstanding majority. Yeah.
So there is no need to negotiate. Notwithstanding, we will not have to do it alone, because no matter the few numbers of the minority, they will still have their voice. They might not have their way,
but their voice will be heard.
Their voice will be heard. Engineer Seyi Makinde is not the kind that want to just sweep any opinion under the carpet like that. So they will have their voice. Unlike what we used to have, you know, it will give everyone opportunity to vent their opinion, even displeasure. So it's going to be a very robust state house of assembly that we're going to have in the night assembly.
All right, you heard it just now. It's going to be a robust 8 house of assembly. Sorry, it should be 8 or 9 or house of assembly we would have in Oyo State. On the final note, before I leave, I would ask my able guest on the show today. In a few days' time, Engineer Seyi Makinde will be the governor. What should we expect for the first 100 days?
I will not talk much on that because I know that we are going to surpass the expectation of the people in the first 100 days. Here is a man with a lot of energy, a man that believes so much in action, more than words. And the first 100 days, they are going to be so remarkable that people in Oyo State will be glad they made the right decision in voting for Engineer Seyi Makinde.
All right, thank you for coming on the show. You just ended just now. The first 100 days will be very massive for those of us in Oyo State, and we will want to hold him to that word and watch out for what will become of Oyo State after 100 days, counting from May 29th till the 100th day. And I hope, or I wish, or I think we would want to celebrate the 100th day of Engineer Seyi Makinde in office. And after then, I think before then, or a day to that time, I would like to bring my amiable Mr. Rotimi Johnson back to the studio and see if we can judge it together and see if the promises of the PDP-led Seyi Makinde has been really brought to limelight. All right, we really appreciate you for coming on the show today and hope we'll come back when it's 100 days so that we can at the same time make analysis of what we are today and the 100th day celebration of engineering. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for coming on the show. All right, that's it today on the show for Politalk with Olatunji. Until I come your way next time for another exciting edition of Politalk, I remain your host, Ola from Tsolidtv. Thank you.